Would you be surprised if I told you that one of the biggest obstacles to health is the message proclaimed by some of the most respected health authorities worldwide? You'd be surprised, and you'd find that very hard to believe. The American Heart Association has been a powerful influence in the shaping of public health messages, and our own health authorities here in Ireland and in the UK and in many parts of the Western world have not escaped the impact of their ideology. If you examine the official health policies of many Western health authorities, you will find the same condemnations and the same recommendations. And in the light of critical scientific evidence, you will realize that these are not always healthy prescriptions. Following these prescriptions will not always lead to optimal health. A prime example of a distorted health message is the one you hear almost every single day. And the message is that fat is bad for you. Yes, fats are bad for your health, and if you wish to be healthy and free of disease, you must avoid dietary fat, or you must limit your daily intake of dietary fat. Have you heard that message? I'm sure you hear it almost every day. The anti-fat message is deafening, and you will hear it from health authorities worldwide. You may have heard of the UK cardiologist who wanted to ban butter because, according to him, it would save thousands of lives. Dr. Culver believes that saturated fats, as found in butter and meat, is the great culprit that needs to be eliminated from our diet. Well, according to the scientific evidence, Dr. Culver is under a great delusion. It is not saturated fats which causes harm to our arteries. It is in fact the artificial fats created by the food industry, the commercially produced trans fats, and an excess of dietary carbohydrates, and the resulting high levels of blood insulin that damage our arteries and increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, obesity, and diabetes. A recent Irish survey concluded that 60% of the under 65-year-olds were obese or overweight, and the rates for children likewise alarmingly high. If you look at the dietary habits of most people today, you will have to admit that it is not the butter, eggs, meat, and the cheese that is in excess. It is the white bread, the white sugar, the white rice, the cookies, the sweets, the breakfast cereals, and the fizzy drinks, and the refined carbohydrates that predominate. And the great tragedy is that this habit is endorsed by the dietary recommendations of our respectable health institutions. Just look at the food pyramids that have been propagated as a guideline for health over the past 2 decades. The United States Department of Agriculture introduced the first food pyramid in 1992, and in that pyramid recommended a whopping 6 to 11 servings of carbohydrates every day, while fats were to be used sparingly. Well, I don't have to tell you what that expert advice has done for the waistline of the American population, and in fact for the waistline of our own people. Eventually recognizing its gross shortcomings, they once again revised the food pyramid in 1995, but continued to promote carbohydrates as the healthy alternative to fats in the diet, suggesting that between 55 and 70% of your intake should be carbohydrates. And by doing that, restricting the dietary fat and the dietary protein. Well, that didn't cut down the rate of obesity and diabetes, so they revised it again. In 2005, a new pyramid was devised called My Pyramid. And despite a few improvements, and you can read the details on my website, the wrong message still continued to be given to the public. Once again, the dietary guidelines were revised, and in January of this year, 2011, new recommendations were released, emphasizing the importance of whole grain vegetables and complex rather than simple carbohydrates. But still the message is blurred, and the public continues to be advised to consume low-fat or fat-free milk and to cut down on fats as found in animal meat and butter. So the old fat-phobic message continues, and no clear guideline is given to help distinguish between the good natural fats and the bad artificial fats. And the health messages from respectable health bodies continues to warn against the dangers of cholesterol and fat in the diet without any evidence whatsoever to support their contention that fats and cholesterol cause heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, or obesity. And the food industry, supported by this false notion, capitalizes by selling to an unsuspecting public an avalanche of foods that are low in fat or low in cholesterol, and therefore high in carbohydrate, high in polyunsaturated fats, high in trans fats, all to the detriment of our health. You will struggle to find a product that is not fat-free or cholesterol-free. Look at the milk on the shelves in the supermarkets. They've been skimmed of healthy cream. The yogurts are called heart healthy, but actually they lack the very heart healthy fats that can protect your heart. Commercial products are labeled as fat-free, yet contain the very harmful trans fats that are man-made and ubiquitous in all shelf products. The food industry has removed the heart-healthy fats from our dietary choices, and the health industry has endorsed these choices by telling the public to avoid foods that contain fat or cholesterol, and in so doing, we have unwittingly consumed an excess of carbohydrates, an excess of polyunsaturated fats, an excess of trans fats, and thereby we have increased our risks, the risk of good health, and in doing that, we have destroyed the health of the nation. So our greatest obstacle to health is the false message that fats are bad for you. And I will explain to you on the contrary that fats are good for you as long as they are natural fats and not the man-made variety. Restricting healthy animal fats and marine fats will not protect your heart or your overall health. and may in fact increase your risk of disease and shorten your life. So more about this in part 3 of the series as we talk about the bad fats and the good fats.